Hey, I got a very, very serious question to ask you in this video, and it's definitely pertaining to this big lottery jackpot that you are manifesting. And when I ask you this question, I truly want you to pay attention to the first thought that comes to your mind. And you have to be honest with yourself. Now, the big question is, get ready. Are you ready for the responsibility that comes with this lottery jackpot? Be honest with yourself, because even after the jackpot, you're going to be put through tests. These tests are not going to stop. God is going to continue to test you. And you're even being tested right now to see if you can handle the responsibility. This is like the final test, responsibility. So let's just say you get this big lottery jackpot, right? When it comes, not if, because it's about to happen. Are you willing to go a whole year of just not saying anything, not telling anybody, continue to work at your job, continue to just live the normal life, sit on it for a while? Are you willing to do that? Because this will give you time to do something that's outside of your comfort zone. Maybe starting a business, maybe even starting a YouTube channel. But you'll be able to see if people are going to be there to support you. The people that you grew up with, friends, family, you'll be able to see who's going to be there. You'll be able to see people's true intentions, because you'll know if they're going to be there to support you. Money exposes true intentions. It exposes people's true colors. So if you do something, right, that's outside of what you normally do, that doesn't make it look like you got all this money, you'll see who's going to be there that's going to share your videos, that's going to like them, that's going to, want to be there to help you evolve. You'll be able to see that. So are you willing to just shut your mouth for a whole year just to see who's going to be there in your corner? And that's being silent. That will prepare you to see who will support you, to see who's going to be there, right? That is a big one, and you have to answer these questions to yourself honestly, because these are the things that God is looking at. So, and also, are you prepared for jealousy? Because there are going to be lots of people that are jealous of what you have. You understand? Are you prepared for that? Are you prepared for envy? Because a lot of the hate, a lot of the jealousy, a lot of the envy is going to come from the people that are closest to you. It's not going to come from strangers. You understand? This is what's going to happen after you win this lottery jackpot. This is sad, but it's true. This is what's going to go on. You have to be very silent. It's imperative right now. You definitely have to prepare for this. And are you prepared for all of the guilt trips? These are the responsibilities that go with winning this lottery jackpot. People are going to put you on guilt trips. They're going to try to manipulate you. They are going to try to send you on emotional trips just so they can get a piece of your wealth. And this is just, when you try to help people, when you try to do things for people, it's never going to be enough. Let me just put that out there. It's never going to be enough. People are always going to have their hand out. They're always going to want more. They're always going to, their hands are going to start looking like cups. You have to understand this, so you have to prepare for this. You have to be ready for that responsibility, because these are the things that is going to happen. Man, you're going to hear all type of stuff. People going to say, oh, I lost my job. I can't pay my bills. I lost my left leg. And you're going to come through all of these different guilt trips and emotional trips that people are going to try to send you through. Just here listening right now, because I'm hearing animals. Okay, that's just a little squirrel. Hey, you got to watch yourself around here in these woods. You never know what might run up on you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just watching my surroundings. So, and when it comes to this big lottery jackpot, people, There are going to be people around you. Now, are you ready for this? They're going to resent you. Even after you help them, even after you have given them something. And this is where your boundaries come in. Let's just say, okay, you do want to look out for your family members. You do want to look out for some of your friends, but your boundaries are going to be set to the point where you're not going to continue to support them. You're not going to continue to give them money. You're going to give them what you're going to give them one time. And trust and believe me, 9 times out of 10, people will resent you for this. For one, the jealousy, the envy, the hate. For 2, you're not going to continue to be their crutch. For 3, they know they can't come back to you and keep asking you for whatever it is, right? So, I mean, it doesn't matter. Whoever you try to help, whoever you try to look out for, they're still going to resent you. They're still going to not like you. They're going to be jealous of you, regardless of the fact because you were the blessed one that manifested this big lottery jackpot. But they don't even know what you went through to get it. They don't know all the inner work that you did, that you changed about yourself to manifest this big lottery jackpot. They have no clue. So these are the things that you have to be ready for. These are the responsibilities that will come with this lottery jackpot. Now I'm gonna ask you again. Are you ready to handle the responsibility? Because all of this is going to come with it. And also, you're going to have to be ready to not rescue irresponsible people because they already know you got all this money. They know that you're wealthy. They know whatever they know about you, whatever you told them, they're going to get themselves in trouble all the time. They're going to continue making, just mistake after mistake after mistake. And you can't be there to rescue them because they need to go through these mistakes on their own so that they can grow, so that they could become more responsible. You see me watching myself, don't you? But yeah. So you have to be willing to not rescue people all the time or at all, to be honest with you, because everybody's going to come for you. Everybody's going to come out the woodworks. Word is going to float. Man, you want all this money? Everybody's going to feel entitled. Everybody's going to want a piece of that. So you have to be willing to just not rescue people, let people make their own mistakes and, let people grow. Also, you have to be prepared. You have to know that, and this is about family. This is about friends. You have to know that giving money will only destroy people. If they're not ready, then you have to think about the whole larger picture of this, right? Let's just say you gave $1 million to one of your friends, right? So they take this money and they get themselves in total financial debt. They like everything. They have kids and now they're messing with their kids' lives, and things like that, right? So you only hurt them. And their kids maybe grow up and maybe end up getting on drugs because of this money and because of the pain that they went through over the years of, just the financial burden. A lot of the times money will hurt people, not help them. And you have to understand this. You can't be ready, and God is always going to look out for you. God's going to look out for your friend's best interest. God is going to look out for everybody's best interest that may be involved with this financial blessing that you are manifesting in your life. So you just have to really just look at it from a larger, from a different perspective, just looking down on everything. And you're saying, okay, I have to really just learn about money and get myself ready for these situations because it's going to happen. This is going to happen to every single person who comes across a large sum of money like that. Now, the responsibility that you're going to have to burden, or handle is you're going to have to be willing, instead of giving person money, you're going to have to offer them knowledge, guidance before you give them any money. Because if they don't take that knowledge, if they don't take that guidance that you gave them, then, they're not going to be able to handle a big, large amount of money that you were going to give them. You have to be willing to offer your knowledge and your guidance first, your teachings first, what you learned first, who to invest in, what to do, what moves to make, where they need to go to learn about money, what investments, all of that kind of stuff. So they have to be willing to take that knowledge, right? Now, you have to become somebody also that can manage the money, that can protect the money, that can, just hold it without, without self-sabotaging it, and that would be just becoming spiritually ready, because your spiritual connection is definitely connected to this big financial blessing, your spirituality. That's all the manifestation. That's all the signs. That's everything that you've been going through that is connected with your spirituality. So you have to be that person that could protect, hold, and manage this blessing. And like I said, not sabotage it, So all of this is the responsibility that you are going to have to go through when it comes to this big financial blessing. You understand? This is one of those places that's just perfect to get out here and run. You see the track? That's that right there. That's the road to your wealth. That's the road to manifestation right there. That's the road to that big lottery jackpot. Are you taking that road? I am. I'm walking down it right now. Let's go. Let's go get it right now. But yeah, so these are the things that you're going to have to deal with. And, be honest with yourself. Are you ready for the responsibility that comes with it? Because you are going to also have to learn about taxes. You're going to have to learn about investments. You're going to have to learn about trust. This is basically learning about money, because you get this big financial blessing. You don't pay your taxes. You don't make the right investments. Then there are so many lottery winners who have gotten big lottery jackpots. And next thing you know, boom, they don't have it no more. They blew it all. They still owe Uncle Sam. So you have to be ready to learn about all of that. And you can start learning about that right now. You can start watching videos on money right now, on taxes, preparing yourself. See, when you start preparing yourself ahead of time, it's almost like buying tangible items before a manifestation. You choose to manifest a Porsche. So you go to the store and you buy Porsche keys, a Porsche keychain to go on your keys so you can look at it every day. That's almost like buying tangible items. You're getting ready for the blessing before the blessing comes by learning about money, just educating yourself on this. That's broadcasting the signal. I'm ready for the responsibility. You understand? Now, you also want to be a person that avoids debt traps, because debt is one of those things that will also drain the blood out of your money. It will take everything out of you. Because if you got all these high interest loans everywhere, it's going to drain you. It's going to take everything you got. So you definitely want to be a person that learns about debt traps and just learning, so you won't become that person, that victim, should I say, and that's also broadcasting a signal to the universe that you are responsible. You're ready for what's to come, and you won't get yourself in debt. This is very, very important. And you don't want to be the person right now, showing that you're responsible, that you don't chase money. You don't chase big lottery tickets everywhere. You don't go to this store and buy it here. Oh, I'm going to buy a scratch off ticket from over here. Oh, I'm going to go to 7-Eleven. I'm looking for ticket number 16. You get yourself in the flow state, and you understand that it comes to you, and you don't chase it. It chases you. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to just know that. And that's showing the universe that you're not desperate, that you don't have to have it. You understand that you're not trying to control it. That's showing that you're responsible, that you don't chase money, that money chases you. You understand what I'm saying? So you definitely want to just keep on showing this responsibility. And the biggest one of showing how responsible you are for this big blessing, that you're ready, is that you are willing to say no. Because people are going to come to you so much, and you just have to be a person that says, you know what? No. The answer is no. To be honest with you, you're going to have to change your number. And there's only going to be like a chosen few who has your number. But those are the people that you already blessed that know that they can't keep coming back to you. These are the things that you're going to have to go through. There's going to be a lot of responsibility that's going to happen when you win this big lottery jackpot. So come back to this video if your question in the beginning of this video was, you're not ready for the responsibility, because you have to be honest with yourself. Start getting ready, start changing your inner world, really focus on some of the things I said in this video, and just change your whole consciousness, because you have to be ready physically, emotionally. You have to be ready consciously, spiritually, everything. You have to be ready for this big financial blessing. You have to get yourself prepared for it. And the more you prepare yourself, the more you keep aligning yourself to the version of yourself that won that big lottery jackpot, it will happen in your life. It can happen tomorrow. It can happen today, next week, next month, because I don't know how much inner work you've been doing. But something big is about to happen in your life. And gratitude, that's it. Just give thanks and let the universe know that you are ready for the responsibility that comes with this big lottery jackpot. So come back to this video in about a week or a month, maybe even 6 months from now, and answer that question that I asked you in the beginning of this video, and answer it honestly. And once you say that you are fully ready, the universe is always going to pick that signal up. The universe is going to know before you even watch the video to say yes. Now, I just wanted to deliver this powerful message. Thank you so much for tuning into Millionaire Mindset, where everything happens in divine time, by divine design. But you are the divine design. Thank you so much. Till the next video, people, I love you. Peace.